What up, Hawks fans? It's your boy Latif, the Fade Doctor, your barber's favorite barber, the nosiest neighbor on the west side, self-proclaimed NBA savant, here chilling with my sons to talk about Hawks basketball. 404 Hawks Talk. That's my son, Prophet. This is my guy.
Kaim. I'm the smartest NBA analyst you never heard of.
And we about to dissect these Hawks from the true fan perspective, live from downtown, man, the west side. I'm a proud dad raising the future generation of Hawks fans, man. So let's get into some of these Hawks talk for this year. Happy New Year, y'all. 2021.
2020 was I don't want to say it was a bad year, but we just didn't enjoy it that much.
Definitely time to look forward, move on to the next chapter. So we're gonna get into the Hawks season, what we see for these first 4 games and the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
What you think so far, son?
I like what I see, especially from the new guys. Everybody's been doing their role, and I like that Trey been starting off the season super fire, and everybody else just fall in line.
It's a lot of haters. It's a lot of haters online talking about Trae Young and the way he plays ball, man. I gotta admit, for a guy to average 30 and 10 in his 3rd season, that's elite status. And the main way he can get that is by getting to that free throw line. I know in the last game against Brooklyn, he had 22 going into the 4th quarter, still ended 30. As somebody that watched Michael Jordan his whole career, I must say, anytime I got a player that wants to lead the locker room to score 30, we always have a chance to win the game, man. So that's elite MVP status, and put some respect on that man's name.
So yeah, like you was saying, in order to be elite scorer, then you got to get to the free throw line. Like James Harden, he averaged 33 last season, and he got to the free throw line quite a bit. So Trey just doing what he needs to do to keep us in games and slow down the tempo sometimes if we needed to get to the free throw line.
And that's exactly what we need from a superstar MVP, top 5 player, in the best point guard in the NBA type player. Keep it a stack.
All right, so next topic, how our new additions look so far. Well, I definitely like Bogey. He started off kind of slow in the preseason, but now he's starting to find his footing. He had 22 last game and was on fire from the three-point line. I think he hit 5. So, yeah, he looks to be like he could be that second scorer for us.
They was definitely hating on Bogey in the beginning. Ho, ho, ho. Prophet, you like Trae Young?
Yes.
Okay, Trae Young, your favorite player?
Yes.
Sounds good to me. All right. So the one thing about their key additions, although we've only played with Capella, Gallo, and Rondo for 1 game, and Gallo got hurt, which might be something to look at in the future. You know what I mean, with both Capella and Gallo. But like KD said, the Hawks are a very deep team, and those additions have helped us not only have 8 guys score double figures in these first 4 games, but when you look at game per game, our bench is doing the thing, man. Put in the comments, man, what we should call the bench mob, man. It should be the bench squad, the red clay getting it out the mud. What should we be called?
I like the I had a name for him the other day, but I can't think of it now. I think we should just call him bench mob or something like that. Or
what should we call the bench?
What kind is that?
What kind you say? What kind you say?
Bench mob.
Say it up loud.
Bench mob.
Okay, I like bench mob for right now. But if you like that, or if you got another suggestion, man, like it, put it in the comments. Let us know what we should name our bench, because I believe we have one of the deepest teams in the NBA. KD say we got about 7 starters. I say we got 10, but that's just my opinion. What's next up for discussion when it comes to these Hawks?
Can we finish top 5? I think we can. I got push-ups on the line.
About to say, man, my guy got 100 push-ups. Say that we in the top 5.
I mean, I was looking at the East earlier, and I really don't think after the top 4 teams that you got, I would say Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Boston. I think it's totally wide open for us to be in that conversation for top 5.
The one thing I have to say about it is that we ain't really played nobody but Brooklyn, and we have to we're not going to be able to win most games by 145, 141, 145. We can't give up 145 to win games, man. So with that, even though we have not played with not one of the guys that's supposed to be our defensive helpers or our defensive stalwarts, so to speak, I believe that just because we played these 4 games, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I'm sticking with my prediction about us fighting for the 8th and 9th seed. I ain't mad at that one at all, but from what we looking like, but as far as how we jumping on teams and number 1 in scoring in the league right now, or top 3 in scoring in the league right now.
I think we have 128 points.
Come on,
so
man.
It's not the issue of us scoring the ball.
But
we don't do that.
We are giving up 123 points a game too, though.
Yeah, that is true.
So I mean, we got to tighten up on the defense, and I think these young guys can do so with my man Lloyd Pierce, under Lloyd Pierce and Nate McMillan's tutelage. We'll talk about that later.
All right. So last thing we want to talk about is the disrespect to Trae Young. All right. it gotta stop, or at least come to a halt, because I was gonna be disrespecting around his name, but he's averaging 30 and 10, top 5 point guard in the league, honestly. And people are saying that he's not, they don't really know basketball, because how you gonna be an average 30 and 10, like I said, and not be a superstar, top 5 player? You know, they just hate on him because he's short and he trying to just get us to where we need to go.
Did you see that his percentages that he's shooting right now? He like shooting 52 from the field, 40-some% from the 3-point line, and 91% from the stripe. So I mean, if he in that 50, 40, 90 club, I mean, what else he got to do?
That's the league.
Come on, man.
50, 40, 90. I think the last person to do that was Malcolm Brogdon. So
who's your favorite player on the Hawks County Prophet?
Trae Young.
All right, I'm gonna need you not to think about that next time. All right, so we got some games coming up next week that we want to talk about real quick before we move on to the next segments that we have. But all right, so we playing the Nets again tonight.
Yes, sir.
We play the Nets again tonight, and I know that they're coming at our throat again. I mean, the way that KD and Kyrie, the way their minds work, I think they maybe tried to overlook us a little bit in that first game, and we slapped them in the face. So now they're gonna come back with a vengeance.
And then next we play the Cavs. I think that's on Sunday. But I mean, it's the Cavs. The Cavs have looked really good this far though. They're 3-2, but at the end of the day, it's still the Cavs.
What they try to call them two boys out there?
Sexland. I think it's
Sexland. Come on, man.
Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. They look really good to start the year. They have good chemistry. They shooting the ball well. Colin Sexton, I think he's number 5 of points scored this year. So
it should be a good test. Who else we got? The Knicks.
Yeah,
I think that's a trap game. The Knicks are always a trap game. Whenever we play them, they seem like they want to do something against Atlanta, especially at the house. I cannot stand when all them Knicks fans be at the farm. So you know that'll probably be another good game. Going to see what's my man out there?
Who, Julius?
No, not Julius Randle. Nobody want to go see Julius Randle. What's the RJ Barrett is who we trying to go see? Yeah. And Kevin Knox still out there too.
I mean, they've been
balling, right? That's what I thought.
Honestly.
That's what I thought.
Julius Randle, he just had a triple-double recently, and I think RJ Barrett, first game of the season, he didn't miss a shot. So they really been hooping, and I think they just beat the Bucks too.
Yeah. Bucks are vulnerable, like you were saying earlier. And we got the Hornets in town. Are we going to see them?
Yeah, we
play them twice, don't we? Back to back, just like the Nets. LaMelo Ball, y'all believe in him?
Yeah, I mean he showed something last game. He really did, so I believe in him.
Well, if you believe in him or not, put it in the comments. Let us know how you feel about LaMelo Ball. We play Charlotte a lot, and I think these 2 games is going to be statement games, especially for our division. We cannot let these division games get away from us like we've done in the past 2 years.
That's right.
All right, so the next segment we're dealing with is called Around the NBA, hosted by the youngin' here, KP.
Yeah, that's my segment. We just be talking about some news around the league, about like maybe a major injury or some trade rumors are going down, and it's just gonna be us talking. So the first thing I want to talk about is the James Harden trade. Going into the season, there was a whole bunch of chitter chatter about if he's going to get traded, what teams he might get traded to. But since he started off his first game of the regular season, he played the Trailblazers. He dropped 44 and 17, and then he came back against the Denver Nuggets and dropped 33 and 8. So
out there looking like Kendrick Perkins, huh?
So he was out there hooping. And then I think last game was his first time playing with John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. And they look really well together. So if I was the Houston Rockets, I wouldn't look to move him so quickly. And then I wouldn't look to move him for nothing less than another all-star caliber player. Because he is a top 5 player in the league. And they technically don't have to trade him because he is under contract for the next 3 years. So they could just look to ride it out. And I think that's what they might do this season.
Yeah, but James Harden's ceiling as far as winning has been less than be desired the past few years, and so I wouldn't be, just like a lot of teams are, not so in a rush to trade for him, especially if your team happens to be in a city that has a lot of exotic dancing clubs. Okay, next.
All right, so next we want to talk about is a major injury. Spencer Dinwiddie, he was the starting shooting guard for the Brooklyn Nets. Went down against the Charlotte Hornets with a partial ACL tear. Prayers up for him. He was just another playmaker, another scorer that they can use. His length on the defensive end, because he was a 6'5" 2 guard, essentially could play point guard also, and his length on the defensive end was going to help them out, because lately they've been struggling on defense. They've been giving up a lot of points, and I just think that it's going to be what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to hurt them a little bit, but not as much as we think, because they also have guys like Karis LeVert, Landry Shamet that can come in and really hold down that 2 guard spot.
What was that other guard they brought in the other game that was trying to guard Trae Young? Got the silly foul on him.
Yeah, you talking about Timothy Luau Karabet.
Yeah.
He was lighting it up in the bubble, so absolutely. I think he might get some more touches too.
Absolutely.
But I don't think this hurts the Nets' chances as much as we think it is, because it is early season, so they do have a lot of time to actually work out what they're gonna do, and they still got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
And you give Karis LeVert an opportunity to go ahead and show more of his worth.
Oh, that's another thing. It hurts their depth a lot, because when Spencer Dinwiddie was in the starting lineup, it gave Karis LeVert opportunity to play against the bench squads and actually show what he's really about. So he got to step in to be a starter now. So
man, shout out to Spencer Dinwiddie, man. That's a smart dude, man.
Really
got his own shoe. He's trying to get people to invest in his contract, man. That's some good stuff, brother. Get well soon.
And the last thing I want to talk about is the G League bubble.
Oh, there's a bubble in the G League. G League got a bubble.
Yeah, so they're going to do the G League bubble. You know, it's going to be like the NBA bubble, where they have a 15-game regular season, and then they're going to have the playoffs in March. So there's 18 teams that are going to be in there already, plus the G League elite team, which is made up of top high school prospects from last season who skipped the traditional college route to go to the league. So they're actually working out and playing against the G League teams to get more experience than if you were just playing against your homeboys in college. And I think it's going to be a real opportunity for them, because, you know, it gives them another platform to showcase what they're really about, how they would play against regular NBA teams, regular NBA-ready talent. And I just think it'd be a great experience.
Hey man, it's anytime a young man can take the skills that he's been working on and go get a paycheck, when you utilize them, I think it's a great thing. Shout out to the G League for allowing those young guys to get in there and showcase their talent. Seemed like they took it from LeVar Ball a little bit, but we ain't gonna talk about that. That's what happened when you have a good idea, though. When you have a good idea, some folks will plagiarize and jump on it. So, you know, shout out to the G League for letting these young guys get in there and make some money.
It's your turn.
All right, the next segment is going to be described as Coach's Corner, brought to you by Hoops University, the grassroots basketball program here in Vine City. In this segment, we talk about different things that the Hawks are doing on the court from the coach's perspective. We describe different interviews that LP may have had, post-game interviews, and again, anything that involves coaches around the NBA. So we're gonna start this Coach's Corner off, the very first Coach's Corner, with giving my brother Lloyd Pierce his roses, his flowers. You know what I mean? Like, okay, there's been a lot of hate on him going into the season about, can he coach? Is he going to be the right coach for the Hawks? Or is he going to get the Hawks to a point and then they have to bring in another well-established coach to take them to the finals? Listen here, man. The young man has been coaching the AAU team, and if you can, they call it the Lloyd Leap. If you notice, all the players under his tutelage the past 2 years have made that second-year leap, because Lloyd Pierce has allowed these young guys to get out there and make their mistakes early. He takes this approach because he's not only a point guard that played with Steve Nash in San Diego, Santa Clara. In Santa Clara, not only did he play at the high level, he went overseas and played. Then when he got back here, he was a player development coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers when LeBron James was there. He did the player development thing in the same way in Golden State, where he got established his relationship with Travis Schlenk. So the man knows basketball. But then when he went to Philadelphia and became the defensive coordinator, I don't know if y'all noticed, but we do have Philly's number. So that's one reason I'm not worried about him, because Lloyd Pierce is coming here and established a certain type of mentality, and he's a player's coach, and I think these young guys respect him. So we got to allow him the opportunity to develop this championship team to what it's going to be. I have a saying that every coach is a virgin to championships until they're not. Allow this guy to become that champion that I think he is on the court. And off the court, with him being involved with wrongly incarcerated initiative, and him being over the players, I mean the coaches and the diversity, he made sure that the Hawks opened up the State Farm Arena for voting, and then he's also put them on notice as far as their diversity and the things that the Hawks want to support when it comes to our community, the black community in particular. I believe he's the great face for our franchise and the right leader for the job. The young man definitely can do what he got to do. And he brought in Nate McMillan,
Right.
Mr. Seattle Supersonic, Mr. Sonic himself, hard-nosed defensive coach. He was a defensive player that played for the Seahawks, one team, but not the Seahawks, the Supersonics. He played one team his whole career, 10 years out there on the defensive side. All NBA, led the league in steals 2 seasons. Every team that he's coached, from Portland to Seattle to Indiana, they've always been top 10 on the defensive side, and I believe he brings that hard-nosed defensive attitude to our coaching staff, which was needed. To me, I'm a enthusiast. I want the black coaches to be able to get an opportunity, and it looks like to me that Lloyd Pierce and Nate McMillan, they're gonna have a black head coaches type of apprenticeship, because we got Rondo coming in right underneath them, just to being able to pick these young guys' minds and use this experience to catapult Rondo's coaching career. I think this is going to be an excellent opportunity for black guys to get their coaching credentials. So shout out to Lloyd Pierce for being able to recognize the skills that Nate McMillan can bring to his coaching staff, and swallow his pride and allow some veterans to come in and help him out with this learning curve, man.
All right. For our next segment, it's Heat on Their Feet.
Heat on their feet.
It's where we talk about the sneaker news around the league and who debuted and what, and who signed where, and the best kicks I've seen so far. So, for the first one, we talk about Anthony Edwards, #1 pick. He signs with Adidas. A lucrative deal.
Zone 4?
No, I think it's a 5-year deal. I don't know the money side of it, but they didn't put that out there yet. So, hopefully this is a great partnership, because Trae Young signs with Adidas too. So that's 2 guys that have some connection to Atlanta with Adidas. So
I got Trae Young's first shoe. I got to get the shoe for this year. But then when he come out with the signature, I definitely got to cop that one.
For the fall.
Definitely got to cop the signature shoe.
And then Paul George debuts his PG5 in the first game of the season. That's where he dropped 33 points.
Oh, go ahead.
33 points against the Lakers. It was a black colorway. I really liked it. We'll show a picture on the screen. And then my favorite kicks from the week, I didn't really see none that really caught my eye, except for the PJ Tucker ones that he wore last night. I think it was the Air Jordan 13 UNC. It's like a baby blue colorway, the UNC colorway. We'll show a picture on the screen. And another one, Montrezl Harrell for Christmas. I saw his shoes, and it had like some fur on them. I think they were Reebok. It had some fur in it. Pretty nice, actually. And yeah.
So I gotta throw a sneaky shout out to Andre Iguodala for wearing them Yeezys. And I don't know if you've seen that, but Andre had the Yeezys that you're not supposed to be wearing on the court. He got the new versions of those Yeezys. He was playing with them last week. So shout out to Iguodala for bringing the heat on his feet. All right, our last segment for our Hawks Talk 404 Hawks Talk is entitled entitled Straight Coonin'. Straight Coonin', brought to you by my favorite adult beverage, this Scarflaughter Basement. And this is a segment we talk about the business side of our Hawks. The Hawks were recently purchased by a diverse group ownership group that's headed by venture capitalists. Make sure we look that up. Venture capitalists. Tony Wrestler, his wife Janie Gretz, Grant Hill is a part of that. Sarah Blakely, who is a founder of Spanx, and they gave the CEO Steve Koonin, one of the biggest Hawks fans in Atlanta, the keys to this ship, and he's done a great job by providing the Hawks fans the #1 experience in the league, game day experience. So we want to set aside a segment just to give Steve Koonin, or all things business side of the Hawks, give them some roses and shout out to everything that we got going on the business side with the Hawks. This is the type of segment we talk about. If JC deserved the bag, the bag meaning the money, y'all. He turned down a 4-year, $90 million contract extension with us. So from the business side of it, as a owner, we cool with that. Because we offered you the $90 million. If you don't want to take it, go out and find out how much you're really worth. Go out here and play and earn your keep. Bet on yourself, which is always what I encourage both of these guys to do. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean. I'm not mad at JC for turning it down. I just know that I don't want to hear no more conversations about he really wanted to get the extension done because he turned down $90 million.
How much you think he gonna get on the open market?
How much y'all think he gonna get on the open market? Y'all put it in the comments.
In
There you go. Put it in the comments. That's right. Let me know. Let us know how much you think JC gonna get in this restricted free agency market. One thing I want to give the Hawks in this last section of the straight Koonin, I want to give Hawks props, man, for turning a $35 million loan on that new complex in Emory. They transferred that money to 2 black banks, one of them in Savannah. I should have had the names, but I don't have their names right now. But we're gonna definitely add that to the comments. But shout out to the Hawks for taking that $35 million loan and allowing 2 black banks to underwrite it. All they got to do is pay their bills, and these 2 black banks will get that $35 million. That is putting your money where your mouth is, and that's another reason why I'm the #1 fan for the Hawks. No cap.
You might be number 2.
I might be number 2. All right, cool. I'll take that. But all right, so we looking forward to definitely MLK weekend, MLK Day, to get inside that farm.
Yes, we'll be in there.
We'll definitely be in there. We definitely have some more content for you. Post game conversations, before game conversations, and we might even do a little something during the game, just because you guys have showed us a whole lot of love every time we put out a video, man. And so we want to keep the content going. My name is Latif, Fade Doctor, your barber's favorite barber.
My name is Kaim, the best NBA analyst you never heard of.
My name is Prophet.
Future Hawk fan, still #1 Trey fan, right?
Yeah.
Trey Young fan #1. Hey man,
like, comment, subscribe, and everything after that.
4 Hawk Talk, man. Thank y'all for checking us out.
And happy 2021.
Happy 2021.